This page is the cover of Sega Saturn Fan Magazine, featuring dynamic artwork with characters resembling those from Grandia, alongside a large, mechanical floating structure. The cover highlights upcoming and recently released games with previews, follow-ups, and major strategy guides for the year-end season. Featured previews include action and racing titles like The House of the Dead, Winter Heat, and Burning Rangers, as well as the highly anticipated RPG, Appeasal. Panzer Dragoon RPG, known internationally as Panzer Dragoon Saga. The follow-up section covers various genres, including Even the Lost One, The Legend of Heroes IV, Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, and others like Dragon's Dream. The prominent year-end strategy guide feature focuses on major RPGs and other key releases, such as Grandia, Shining Force 2I Scenario 1, A Girl Who Chants Love, Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, Marie's Atelier, The Alchemist of Solberg, and the racing game Sonic R. The cover reflects the busy release schedule and focus on major titles towards the end of 1997. This page features a striking two-page spread, serving as an early teaser for the game D2 from developer Warp Inc. The left side is minimalist with a large, bold red D2 logo and smaller text reading "Runs Under" below it, set against a stark white background. The right side is dominated by an abstract, blood red and black design, typical of Warp's atmospheric style, with faintly visible Japanese text in the background. The bottom right corner includes the contact information for Warp Inc., including their Tokyo address and website. This page is a powerful, visually driven advertisement announcing Warp's next project, leveraging the reputation built by their previous horror title, D. The next page is a double-page advertisement showcasing two fantastic arcade shoot-'em-up ports coming to the Sega Saturn from Raising. The left side promotes a special edition release of Tsukyu Gurentai, highlighting its return as a budget-priced version. The right side focuses on the highly anticipated perfect arcade port of Battle Garega, featuring dynamic artwork and game screenshots. Both pages emphasize that these are top arcade hits, receiving faithful home console conversions. This page features a double-page spread. The left side is an advertisement for the simulation game Odo Renaissance, developed by the creators of the beloved Harvest Moon and Legend of the River King series. It showcases the game's unique chibi art style and screenshots of town management gameplay, highlighting its release on December 18, 1997. The right side serves as the magazine's table of contents, listing the features within. Prominent strategy guides cover major titles like Grandia, Shining Force 2, Scenario 1, A Girl Who Chants Love at the Bound of This World, and Devil Summoners, Soul Hackers. The Sega Dynamic Preview section gives a look at upcoming games, including the arcade shooter, The House of the Dead, Winter Heat, Burning Rangers, and the epic RPG Panzer Dragoon Saga. Other sections detail special reports, continuing coverage on games like White Witch and Even the Lost One, new game releases, and strategy guides for titles such as Sonic SAR and Atelier Marie. The issue date is noted as December 26, 1997, and the cover art is previewed, featuring artwork from Shining Force 2I Scenario 1. This page is a detailed strategy guide for the early sections of the classic RPG Grandia, focusing on the starting town of Parm and the initial dungeon, the Adventurers Society, Pearl Memorial Museum. It outlines the route, highlights shop items, and provides tips for beginners. The guide includes a table of items available in Parm shops, listing basic healing items, weapons like the ceramic sword and metal bat, and armor such as leather gloves and air sneakers, emphasizing the utility of air sneakers for increasing movement speed early on. It advises players to invest in enhancing attack power and weapon skills, noting that focusing on weapon proficiency is key to character progression. A points section details how to find a hidden early treasure, guiding players through a puzzle involving talking to specific characters like Gantz and his brother Tense to obtain a key. Another section describes a notable early game event where Justin and Sue accidentally damaged the Winged One statue in the Adventurers Society, highlighting the humorous character interactions. Finally, a flowchart provides a step-by-step walkthrough of the initial scenario route, from the start in Parm up to the point of rescuing Fina. This page continues the Grandia strategy guide, detailing the path from Marlana Road to the Sult Ruins. It emphasizes mastering the combat system, noting that positioning is key for gaining an advantage or suffering a disadvantage in encounters. The guide provides maps for Marlana Road and the two levels of the Sult Ruins dungeon, B1F and B2F. marking important locations like enemy encounters, save points, and treasure spots. Item lists are included, showing where to find useful equipment and recovery items in each area. Information is given on the types of enemies encountered, such as the beetles and giant centipedes on Marlana Road, and slugs, baby bats, and lockbirds in the Salt Ruins, along with tips for dealing with their specific attacks and movements. The guide also warns about traps in the Salt Ruins, advising players to interact with action icons to clear obstacles. A notable point highlighted is the discovery of ancient ruins reacting to Justin's Spirit Stone, and the encounter with a mysterious girl deep within the Salt Ruins, hinting at significant story events. Finally, a strategy is provided for the boss, the Lockbird, recommending tactics for both Justin and Sue to overcome this challenging foe. The page concludes with a flowchart outlining the path through these areas. This page continues the Grandia strategy guide, shifting focus from the Salt Ruins to the next key area, the Lek Mines. It begins by detailing the steps required to reach the mines, specifically highlighting the necessity of finding Jin's house by first obtaining the key to the underground pub in Parm from the shopkeeper's mother. Detailed maps are provided for Lek Mines B1F and B2Fs, marking important locations like save points, treasure chests containing gold and valuable items, and points of interest. Item lists are included, revealing useful equipment and recovery items found throughout the dungeon, emphasizing the practicality and value of the weapons and armor available here. The guide also covers the enemies encountered in the mines, including slimes, baby bats, spiders, noting their web skill, and orcs, along with their stats and abilities. The strategy culminates with guidance on facing the Orc King boss fight, advising players to first defeat the 2 regular orcs accompanying the king to make the encounter easier. Finally, the page highlights story moments, such as the exciting minecart escape after the boss battle, and the emotional departure from Parm, preparing Justin and Sue for their grand adventure. A flowchart traces the path from meeting Mullen to leaving town. This section clearly aims to walk players through the immediate post-Salt Ruins events and the challenges of the Lek Mines. This page of the Grandia strategy guide moves on to the next major area, the ferry, and the subsequent ghost ship. It provides a detailed route map of the ghost ship, showing connections between areas like the upper deck, food storage, hold, mid-deck, lower deck, treasure room, and the ship's hold 2Fs, highlighting where items and gold can be found. The guide emphasizes important events that occur during the ferry journey, including meeting Fina, engaging in daily deck polishing training with her, and Sue, even detailing the deck polishing minigame mechanics, and the eventual appearance of the ghost ship, which leads Justin, Sue, and Fina to investigate. It also lists items available for purchase on the ferry, and items obtainable within the ghost ship itself, such as recovery items, armor, and weapons like the giant club for Justin. Strategies for dealing with the various enemies inside the ghost ship are outlined, including ghosts, killer jellyfish, and ammonites, noting their stats and skills. The main focus is on the boss, the Squid King, aka King, describing its multiple parts, attack patterns, and advising players to focus damage on the main body after dealing with the tentacles. Suggesting recovery items bought from the ferry shop will be crucial. A flowchart at the bottom maps out the progression from getting on the ferry to overcoming the ghost ship challenge. This page of the Grandia guide picks up after the ghost ship, detailing the arrival in New Palmport. You'll first visit the Adventurers Guild as part of the main quest, leading to meeting Fina and getting entangled in Pecan's scheme. The local shop offers essential equipment and items, including recovery items, weapons, and armor, which you should definitely stock up on before leaving town. The route then takes you through Merrill Road, a mountainous path where you'll encounter various enemies like the poisonous Tsuchinoko cobras. The path also holds valuable items, including a mana egg crucial for learning new magic. Next is the Underground Passage, a dungeon requiring you to navigate and open a series of water gates to proceed. This area features different enemy types, including the Hedron and Chitin Eaters. The passage leads to a confrontation with the boss, Chan Sensei. Chan is a dangerous fighter, with high attack power and counter capabilities. The key to victory is counterattacking when he exposes himself, and being ready to cancel his continuous attacks. Remember to fully heal and save before facing him, as there's a convenient point just before the boss room. This page dives into Shining Force 2I, focusing on the final battle system and kicking off a strategy guide for the first scenario, God of the Royal City. A major highlight is the Friendship Support System, which adds tactical depth to battles by granting stat boosts or other advantages when allied characters are close together and have high rapport. The page shows how this support works and impacts gameplay. It also reveals new features for the main camp area, including item storage and a consultation option with a master for hints and help. Furthermore, a new battle scenario featuring giant golem enemies is showcased, detailing their powerful attacks. The article positions Shining Force 2I as the start of a grand legend, posing thematic questions about justice and evil, and emphasizes the importance of the unveiled battle mechanics. This page continues the Shining Force 2I Scenario 1 guide, offering deeper insights into its tactical combat. It details how to effectively use the return spell to escape difficult battles, encouraging experimentation with different approaches. The article also weighs the strategic value of upgrading weapons versus focusing on weapon proficiency, noting the importance of weapon proficiency for mastering powerful special attacks. The beneficial X damage system is explained, highlighting elemental and type-based advantages in combat. Furthermore, the page elaborates on the support system, explaining how character proximity and friendship levels grant crucial stat boosts, and detailing the specific support effects characters can provide. The guide then kicks off the scenario walkthrough, starting with the battles in Saraban Town and the pier against the Masked Monk and False Benefrum group, before moving on to the pursuit to Balsamo, including a strategic map breakdown of the Balsamo Eastern Plains battle, featuring Masked Monks, Bats, and the False Benefrum. It also touches upon the subsequent encounter with the Saraband army, led by a guard captain and knights. This page provides advanced battle tips and begins the walkthrough for Shining Force 2I Scenario 1, covering the return spell, weapon strategy, X damage support system, and the initial Saraband/Balsamo battles. This page continues the guide for Shining Force 2I Scenario 1, detailing the journey from Balsamo towards the railroad. It covers the battle in the Dwarf's Valley and Hill, noting that the Valley battle is a simple pass-through encounter where you can gain experience and find items like the Project Brace. The guide moves on to the Dwarf's Hill battle, a more strategic fight featuring enemies like snipers and dark mages, and introduces the first two-man relay battle within the Hill Ruins, where you can acquire the life ring and healing drop. The focus then shifts to reaching the railroad town and the critical objective of rescuing Irene, a female monk who subsequently joins your force and is valuable for her recovery magic. The page provides a strategic breakdown of the battle at the storage area, highlighting the various enemies present, including birdmen, goblins, skypines, snipers, dark mages, and the problematic Tau, which must be dealt with to safely rescue Irene. Finally, the guide mentions the precarious situation following the battle, where the force finds itself pursued by multiple factions, including the Imperial Army, Balsamo, and Benefrim's forces. This page continues the guide for Shining Force 2I Scenario 1, detailing the events and battles around the railroad. It highlights Battle 7, where Julian, a character with ties to the game Mystic Arc, joins your force during a battle on the railroad North Plain. The guide offers strategy for this fight and mentions moving towards the Blue Ruins. Battle 8 focuses on a critical encounter at the train point, where you must rescue refugees while fighting off Imperial forces, with the assistance of Prince Midian. It emphasizes the importance of strategically moving the train and protecting the refugees. Further into the guide, specific strategy for the Blue Ruins is provided, including acquiring items like the Protect Ring. Finally, the page introduces another key character, the female knight Cybarlai, who joins your party after defeating the Imperial Knight Commander, bringing her powerful halberd skills. The pages feature screenshots of battle maps, character portraits, and strategic tips for tackling these challenging stages and integrating new members into your force. This page offers an essential guide for the visual novel classic, A Girl Who Chants Love at the Bound of This World, specifically focusing on the scenario where Mizuki becomes the central figure. It breaks down critical branch points and details how to acquire key items needed to progress through her story route. The included ADM's map diagram clearly illustrates the scope of the guide, showing the branching paths covered. The walkthrough begins with the first day, Act 1, highlighting events such as encountering Kana and the potential to obtain her student handbook. It also covers interactions involving Mizuki, the protagonist's father, and Ryuzoji, detailing important meetings in the school hall, the library, and a crucial encounter with Kana on the rooftop involving the student handbook. The guide emphasizes making the correct choices at these early branch points to stay on Mizuki's path. This page provides a detailed walkthrough for the first day, Act 2, of the classic visual novel A Girl Who Chants Love at the Bound of This World. Continuing the guide, It highlights crucial branch points and events to progress through the game's narrative, likely focusing on the Mizuki route based on the previous page. The guide covers meeting Ryuzoji to learn about the mysterious Tatari, discussing the curse with Mai Hams, Eriko in the infirmary, and a key moment involving Ayumi's room, where you can acquire the essential wooden sword. It details confirming the evening appointment with Mizuki at the research lab and subsequent events there, including finding evidence related to the protagonist's father and Ryuzoji, and a significant encounter with Mizuki herself. The walkthrough concludes Act 2 by detailing interactions with Kaori and Kana in front of Ryuzoji's mansion and later on Central Street, introducing more characters and deepening the mystery surrounding the Tatari and the relationships between the characters. These steps are vital for uncovering the secrets of the game's world. The next page details a walkthrough for Yuno, a girl who chants love at the bound of this world, covering the first day, Act 3, and the second day, Act 1. The guide picks up after returning home, focusing on the mysteries surrounding Ryuzoji and the search for the truth. The events in Act 3 include navigating Ayumi's presence at home, investigating Ryuzoji's mansion, meeting the suspicious old woman, Ryuzoji's mother, and obtaining the crucial golden key. The section concludes with a worrying phone call from Mizuki. The second day, Act 1, begins with the protagonist heading to school, concerned about Mizuki. The walkthrough details interactions with characters like Mio, Yuki, and Kanachin in the school hallway and infirmary, where the school nurse, Mums Aiko, learns about the protagonist's encounter with Mizuki. The search for Mizuki continues, leading back to the rooftop, and eventually receiving another call from her, directing the protagonist to Ryuzoji's mansion. The guide provides step-by-step instructions to follow these plot threads and deepen the game's complex narrative. This page continues the strategy guide for Yuno, a girl who chants love at the bound of this world, focusing on the second day, Act 2. The walkthrough details the protagonist's search for Mizuki after being called to Ryuzoji's mansion. The guide covers key branching points and events. It starts with searching the Ryuzoji storehouse, requiring the golden key obtained previously. Inside, an item is found, but a rope is needed to retrieve it from a well outside, highlighting the importance of item management. The guide then shows encountering characters like Ayumi near the mansion, Mio and Yuki investigating at the shrine, and eventually heading to the research laboratory. At the lab, the protagonist encounters Ryuzoji himself, leading to a tense moment, requiring the protagonist to hide in a locker. The guide climaxes with a provocative scene inside the locker involving Mums Aiko, hinting at deeper mysteries and character relationships. The page emphasizes navigating these locations and interactions to progress the complex narrative. This page continues the walkthrough for Yuno, a girl who chants love at the bound of this world, guiding players through the critical moments of the second day, Act 3. Following Mizuki's distressed call about Ryuzoji's secret, the protagonist is on a mission to find clues and ultimately confront him. The guide meticulously details the protagonist's actions, from trailing Ryuzoji through the central town and visiting locations like the IPNIFNG Club and a hotel, where key characters like Ems, Eriko, Kaori, Yuki and Mizuki are encountered. It then shifts focus to the coast, where meeting Kana hints at another developing mystery. Later, a crucial phone call leads the protagonist to the school at night, navigating dark hallways and laboratories. A major turning point involves finding an injured Mizuki near Ryuzoji's mansion's storage room. Helping her leads to tense situations in the infirmary, marked by branching points where player choices matter, requiring specific items like a rope to proceed, or careful answers to Eriko's questions. The culmination of this section involves entering the mysterious storage room, leading directly to a confrontation with Ryuzoji himself, setting the stage for a dramatic revelation about his identity and the protagonist's fate. The screenshots vividly capture these suspenseful moments and character interactions. This page dives deep into the mechanics of devil summoners, soul hackers, focusing on the elusive dark demon race. This is the third part of the guide, offering insights into dark demons, dungeon exploration, and a demon list. The guide explains the unique characteristics of dark demons compared to light and neutral types. Crucially, they cannot be negotiated with directly in battle initially, but require specific installation software like Darkman to enable interaction. They are often depicted as powerful, possessing high resistance stats and abilities like repelling or nullifying attacks, making them challenging but potentially rewarding allies. Information is provided on Demon Fusion, highlighting the processes for both two-body and three-body fusions, along with a table illustrating potential outcomes when fusing different demon races. Specific examples of demon evolution are detailed, such as Nekomata transforming into Nekomata, and Bifrons changing forms when equipped with certain weapons, granting them enhanced abilities. The guide also touches upon useful installable software, recommending tools like Moonadult for nighttime negotiations, and Kibawise for enemy analysis, though cautioning against using it on unknown foes. Ultimately, the page concludes that despite the difficulty in obtaining dark demons due to their unique negotiation requirements, they are powerful additions to your party, offering significant strategic advantages in combat thanks to their strong stats and resistances, making the effort to acquire them worthwhile. Screenshots throughout the page showcase various dark demons, negotiation scenes, and software effects. This page provides detailed dungeon guides for devil summoners, soul hackers, focusing on 3 key areas: the Leon Car Factory, Tenkai Float, and the Sea Arc. It features large, clear maps for multiple floors of the Leon Car Factory, 1F, 2F, 3F, 4F, and the Sea Arc, 4F, 5F, showing pathways, treasure locations, exits, elevators, and other points of interest, like main power sources and drop-off points. The guide offers strategic advice for navigating these complex dungeons, including tips on obtaining treasure boxes on specific floors and overcoming environmental puzzles, such as powering up elevators in the Leon Car Factory. It explains that higher floors of the Sea Arc only become accessible after clearing other story segments, like the VR Art Museum and VR Horror House. A significant portion is dedicated to a boss battle strategy against Vlamyog and accompanying demons. It identifies the enemy types, highlights their elemental weaknesses, specifically mentioning weakness to electrical attacks, and suggests tactics for defeating them effectively, referencing a table that details the boss's stats and vulnerabilities. The page also includes screenshots illustrating exploration within the dungeons and moments during the boss fight. This page is essential for players navigating these challenging mid-game areas. The next page provides a comprehensive guide to the challenging Tenkai Float, Heavenly Tower, area in Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers. It features detailed maps for the 1st, 5th, and 13th floors, marking key locations like elevators, exits, and treasure boxes. The guide outlines the progression through the area, starting with activating the gondolas on the 13th floor to access upper levels. The main objective shifts from meeting Finnegan to rescuing Yuichi, who is located in one of the material storage areas on the 5th floor. Entering the wrong storage area can lead to battles. Preparation for the boss battle against Finnegan is discussed, noting that the conversation with him affects the fight. Recommended demons include those with strong physical attacks like Vlamyog, and support demons like Nozuchi and Kotoshilanushi. Strategies for demon conversation are also explained, highlighting its use for gaining resources or avoiding battles. Finally, the page details new software available for purchase at L115 after clearing the Sea Arc area, including utility software like Darkman. It also mentions accessing a previously locked elevator in the Archon NS building after clearing Tenkai Float, which leads to powerful new gear. This page is a crucial resource for navigating Tenkai Float, defeating its boss, and discovering post-dungeon rewards. This page delves into the challenging VR Horror House area in Devil Summoners, Soul Hackers, where the protagonist must venture to rescue their sister, 6. The dungeon spans multiple floors, from B1 up to the 6th floor, and features intricate layouts with warp points and secret areas. The maps provided here are essential for navigation. The primary objective within the horror house is to recover 3 specific memories. This involves activating the organ on the 1st floor and locating designated rooms accessible via warp zones. The guide hints that solving puzzles or interacting with the environment is key to progression, as indicated by the gimmicks section. Preparation for the boss battle is crucial, as the fight's nature changes based on actions taken within the dungeon. The guide offers advice on party composition for this variable encounter, mentioning specific demon types useful for support. It also lists recommended demons to recruit, and the various demons encountered throughout the dungeon. Following the successful clearing of the horror house, the narrative shifts to a confrontation at Spooky's hideout, where enemies launch an attack. The page includes screenshots depicting key moments, such as the rescue attempt and the post-dungeon event. Detailed maps for all floors and special memory areas are laid out, along with a legend explaining symbols for exits, warp points, damage zones, hints, stairs, treasure boxes, and more, providing all the necessary information for players to navigate this tricky dungeon and save 6. This page presents a comprehensive look at demons and devil summoners, soul hackers, specifically those ranging from level 34 to 44. It's a vital resource for any player navigating the game's challenges. Each entry includes a portrait of the demon, alongside a block of detailed information, laying out their basic stats like HP, MP, CP, their alignment, light/neutral/dark, law/neutral/chaos, personality, and core attributes such as strength, intelligence, magic, agility, and luck. Crucially, it also lists their resistances, avoidance rates, movement speed, and the specific spells and special abilities they possess. This kind of detailed breakdown is essential for planning your party, understanding enemy weaknesses, and making informed decisions about demon fusion and negotiation. Building on the strategic needs highlighted in the previous dungeon guide, you can see various demon types like magen, goddesses, fairies, and angels listed, giving players a clear picture of what they'll encounter and potentially recruit in this level range. This page offers a detailed strategy guide for Sonic CR, focusing on unlocking hidden characters and navigating the challenging Reactive Factory course, the fourth course in the game. It explains that there are 5 hidden characters, 4 unlocked by collecting 5 tokens and finishing in the top 4 on specific courses, then winning a one-on-one race against them. The 5th, Supersonic, is unlocked by collecting all 7 Chaos Emeralds across all 4 main courses. The guide also provides a breakdown of which hidden character appears on each track. The majority of the page is dedicated to a walkthrough of the Reactive Factory course, highlighting key branching paths and optimal routes with map references, AE, and screenshots. It gives specific tips on shortcuts, using the warp system effectively, and navigating tricky sections to shave off precious seconds and avoid getting lost. The advice emphasizes taking the right turns at crucial junctions and utilizing jumps over obstacles. This page delves into the intricacies of player development within the game. J-League 2. Let's make a pro soccer club, focusing heavily on the training system. It highlights how effective training is the foundation of building a strong club, detailing different training types and their specific impacts on player parameters. The guide provides insights into creating optimal training rotations, suggesting that strategies should adapt as the club and players evolve. It also touches upon how players can improve their abilities through participating in matches. The page includes examples of training rotations for different tactical roles and tables illustrating the effectiveness of various training methods on different player attributes and positions. Screenshots showcase the game's training menus and match visuals, demonstrating the practical application of the strategies discussed. The content underscores the importance of understanding the game's mechanics to efficiently raise player stats and build a competitive team. This page delves into managing your club's finances and exploring different strategic approaches in J-League 2. Let's make a pro soccer club. It highlights the critical role of sponsors in providing necessary funds for club operations and growth. Various sponsor types are listed, detailing potential contract values and durations, emphasizing that securing high-value sponsorships is key to progress. The page also touches on how the club's success can increase sponsor levels and includes a section discussing the consequences of breaking contracts, underscoring the importance of careful negotiation. The latter half presents a special feature comparing 3 distinct club development strategies implemented over a 10-year simulation: a balanced approach, a defense-focused team, and an offense-oriented squad. Each strategy is briefly outlined, detailing their recruitment and training philosophies. Team evaluations and final standings after a simulated league season are presented. The analysis reveals that the offense-focused team ultimately triumphed, largely attributed to successful scouting and recruitment of top-tier players like Ronaldo and Nascimento in later years, which propelled them to consistent victories. The balanced and defensive teams showed initial promise, but struggled with consistency, or failed to develop the necessary firepower. The reviewer concludes that while strategy is important, securing star talent, especially offensive threats, proved decisive in this simulation. This page dives into Sega Touring Car Championship, providing essential strategies for mastering the intermediate Grunwald circuit and advanced brick wall town courses. It offers specific techniques for navigating critical points on Grunwald circuit, from managing the initial continuous turns to handling the banked 6th corner and the final hairpin. The page also announces an exciting joint time attack contest across 4 magazines. Competitors race for the best total time over 5 laps on one of the 3 designated courses, vying for luxurious prizes, including special trophies, a racing suit, cap, and other exclusive goods awarded to top performers. This page continues the deep dive into Sega Touring Car Championship, focusing on mastering the challenging brick wall town course. It provides detailed strategies for navigating specific sections, including how to handle composite corners, utilize the track's outer edge, and even the grass for optimal lines through corners like the 4th, 5th, and 8th, and execute precise downshifts for the final hairpin turn, corner 10. Screenshots illustrate the recommended racing lines and techniques. The page also briefly touches on advanced maneuvers like the wall turn. On the right side, there's an advertisement for sound novel Tsukuru 2, Sound Novel Maker 2, for the Sega Saturn, released on December 18, 1997. This software allows users to create their own visual novels by combining custom scenarios, graphics, and sound elements. The ad features a striking image of a crime scene, with a chalk outline and a pool of red, hinting at the narrative possibilities within the software. There's also a small notice about the third ASC2 Entertainment Software Contest. This page presents information on two distinct Atlas RPGs for the Sega Saturn. On the left is Shin Megami Tensei, Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, the captivating cyberpunk entry in the popular series. It highlights the game's blend of futuristic visuals and demon summoning gameplay, confirming it is now on sale for 6,800 yen. The page mentions it retains core mechanics like demon fusion and conversation from the previous Devil Summoner, while adding the new Vision Quest system. Screenshots showcase the game's first-person dungeon crawling and battle interface. Below, there's a brief mention of the Devil Summoner Soul Hackers Demon Compendium Volume 2 disc, a CG library released on December 23, 1997, for 2,800 yen, and a campaign for a bonus Cridrom. The right side features Princess Crown, an action RPG known for its beautiful hand-drawn art and fluid animation. The artwork depicts the main characters in a vibrant fantasy setting. It confirms the game is also now on sale for 5,800 yen. Key features highlighted are the massive amount of character animation patterns and the innovative morphing system that brings them to life, as well as engaging stories for sub-characters. Screenshots demonstrate the side-scrolling action gameplay. Princess Crown stands out for its unique visual style and detailed character movement, making it a highly regarded title for the system. This page delivers a special report on the Sega Saturn card game, Arcana Strikes. It focuses on revealing a valuable collection of rare cards, specifically designed by renowned artists. The article emphasizes the significance of these cards as highly sought-after collectibles, showcasing 16 distinct rare cards, illustrated by prominent figures in the art world. The featured artists include Yasutaka Moriki, Hideyuki Takanami, Futoshi Nagata, Tsukasa Kotobuki, Kiya Asamiya, who illustrated 3 cards, Kosuke Fujishima, Toyo Ashida, Yuya Kusakawa, Manabu Kashiwamoto, Kobita Aoki, Mika Akitaka, Torahiro Tsujino, Kensuke Mizutani, and Hiroyuki Hataike. Players are informed that even more powerful rare cards are hidden deeper within the game's world. The page also provides a method to obtain one specific rare card, Cyan, by Kiya Asamiya, by finding the character Wofu Manahu in the Land of Earth and providing a password. This page gives us a deep dive into the extensive card collection featured in Arcana Strikes for the Sega Saturn. On the left, the page showcases numerous cards categorized by type, such as Arcana cards, various elemental and neutral monsters, and different action or effect cards. The right side acts as the main promotional piece for the game, highlighting its nature as a tactical card game where players collect, raise, and battle with over 300 different cards. It boasts impressive graphics and sound, mentioning the theme song by the Alfie. The advertisement confirms the game's release date as December 25th, priced at 6,800 yen, and briefly mentions a limited edition with a special Growing Monster card. Notably, the bottom section features a selection of the highly sought-after rare cards, picturing characters like Tin, Cyan, and others, reinforcing the game's collectible appeal and tying into the previous discussion about special, artist-illustrated rare cards. This page features Dream Generation, a simulation game for the Sega Saturn. The prominent headlines highlight the game's core concept, achieving both love and work simultaneously within a limited 2-year timeframe. The objective is to find a lover and gain fame in your chosen profession, requiring the player to balance pursuing relationships with improving themselves for their career. The page showcases various character illustrations, depicting some of the potential romantic interests, including a girl enjoying a snack, one with green hair holding a book, and another in a kimono. A small screenshot provides a glimpse of the game's conversation scenes. Details on the game include it being a love and career choice simulation with 9 potential girlfriends. The main staff, including the character designer, music composer, and scriptwriter, are listed along with their previous works, indicating experienced talent behind the project. Basic game information like the genre, developer, Feb 98 release date, and price are also provided. This page continues the look at Dream Generation, detailing how players spend their time throughout the week. Weekdays are all about personal growth, focusing on work and study to build up your character's parameters and skills, essential for achieving your dream career within the game's time limit. Saturday shifts gears, dedicating the day to exploring the town map, gathering information, finding part-time jobs, and connecting with the environment. This exploration is key to progression and interacting with characters. Sunday is explicitly highlighted as the day for romance, allowing players to arrange dates with potential love interests at various locations, emphasizing the freedom to pursue multiple relationships simultaneously. The page features illustrations of potential romantic partners and screenshots showing the game's schedule, parameter, and town exploration interfaces. This page dives into the wild and unpredictable world of penny racers, or Koro Q as it's known here, on the Sega Saturn. The title boasts, "Jump, crash, roll, anything goes Koro Q race," highlighting the game's chaotic fun, and promises over 80 Koro QS available. You can even customize them. This isn't just a simple port. It's a powered-up Saturn original version. You get a massive selection of over 80 different cars to race, significantly more than previous entries, and deep customization options for coloring and settings. The game introduces exciting new systems like the rolling corner dash, where you can recover and keep racing even after a nasty crash or roll, and the pit stop race system allows you to change cars mid-race at designated points, adding a tactical layer to tackle varying track surfaces. Beyond racing, there's the charming Koro Q Island to explore, featuring over 18 different course types, from standard circuits to high-speed highways and even wild acrobat courses. The game also features item-based combat to take down rivals, like the tire jump attack and oil spill attack. Penny Racers is presented as a game packed with content and unique mechanics that go well beyond a typical racing game. This page presents a dual feature from TGL, showcasing 2 different simulation RPGs for the Sega Saturn. On the left is Farland Saga, asking the fundamental question, coexist or rule? The artwork features key characters like Leon, Narian, Ralph, and Fam, highlighting the game's fantasy setting. It promises strategic 3D field battles and engaging event scenes. A small section mentions a postcard campaign for a poster/calendar prize. On the right, we see Tilk, the girl who came from the blue sea. This title has a softer, more nostalgic feel, with vibrant character art including the protagonist, Tilk. The text speaks of remembering youthful days and sparkling seas, framing the game as a simulation RPG designed to evoke cherished memories. It also features a release campaign offering prizes like a camera or phone card. Both games are TGL titles, released near the end of 1997 or early 1998. Offering different takes on the simulation RPG genre. This page is a vibrant advertisement for the highly acclaimed adventure game, Uno, a girl who chants love at the bound of this world. Presented as a collage of evocative scenes and character art from the game, the page highlights the title's unique nature. It's described not just as a game but as a deep role-playing experience, offering various adventures and countless experiences, unparalleled in other titles. The text emphasizes the game's emotional range, from shedding tears in bittersweet scenes to confronting base villains and getting lost in intricate mysteries. It points to a slightly adult adventure, backed up by the explicit 18+ age restriction shown on the page. Key features highlighted include beautiful computer graphics, immersive background music, full voice acting, and diverse animation that brings the grand story to life. The innovative ADM system is mentioned as opening up various possibilities within the narrative. Released by Elf, the game was already available at the time of publication, priced at 7,800 yen across 3 krdroms, promising a substantial and engaging journey. The artwork showcases a mix of dramatic and intimate moments, hinting at the complex story and character interactions that define Uno. This page features promotions for 2 distinct games. On the left is Zero Divide, The Final Conflict, a 3D polygonal fighting game making its way to the Sega Saturn. It's highlighted as the ultimate evolution of a popular 3D fighting series from other platforms. The page includes screenshots showing the intricate character models and detailed fighting arenas. The text includes a dramatic line seemingly from the game's story and confirms a release date of November 20th, 1997, priced at 5,800 yen. On the right side, we see Hunsha de Spark, a puzzle/action game that supports multi-tap for potentially multiplayer fun. The title translates roughly to Reflect and Spark. It features cute, stylized characters and screenshots displaying grid-based gameplay reminiscent of Bomberman, where players use reflected discs to take out opponents while navigating levels filled with obstacles. The description emphasizes the unique, reflex-based gameplay and systems designed for up to 4 players. This game was scheduled for release on December 23rd, priced at 5,800 yen. The developer information lists SEGA, Prism, and Zoom, with Sega Enterprises handling distribution. This page features 2 distinct games. On the left is Umanari One Hero Theater, a horse racing simulation and management game based on a popular comic. It focuses on breeding and training thoroughbreds, with players taking on the role of trainer and owner, making crucial decisions about races and development. The game features diverse personalities and abilities for the horses, carrying on traits from their parents. Screenshots show the racing action and management screens, including details like race distance and prize money. The character designs are credited to Miho Yoshida, the original comic author. On the right, we see Zap! Snowboarding Tricks 98, a power-up sequel bringing intense snowboarding action. The page showcases images of snowboarders and dynamic screenshots of the game's 3D environments and tricks. The game boasts various courses, including downhill, slalom, halfpipe, and big air jumps, totaling over 10 courses with 9 different trick types. It includes champion mode and a 2-player versus mode. Players can also customize characters with skill edit. This title is for the PlayStation console. This page dives into the world of Sega Saturn and introduces a new game from Kid. On the left, we see a cheerful mascot character outside, promoting Tenant Wars, a board game simulation coming to both PlayStation and Sega Saturn on February 12, 1998, priced at 5,800 yen. The game looks like players get to open and manage their own shops, aiming to succeed. There's a fun little quiz asking readers to guess the game's title. Screenshots show the game board and its colorful characters. The right side focuses on the Kingdom of Saturn, delivering a load of data and news for Sega Saturn fans. The News Dynamite section reports on various Saturn-related happenings, including coverage of recent events like the Digital Circus, which saw a large turnout despite challenging weather. There's also information about the operating schedules for Sega's amusement theme parks across Japan during the year-end and New Year period, giving fans details on where to go for holiday fun. The page also previews the Tokyo Game Show 98 Spring, noting it will be held on a larger scale than previous shows. An index lists other topics covered in this section, such as sales rankings and reader gifts. The next page is a tear-out postcard designed for reader submissions and gift applications for Saturn Fan issue number 24. One side is dedicated to entering the reader gift giveaway, asking applicants to rank desired games from a list that includes titles such as Darkstalkers 3X Edition, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Vandal Hearts, Sega Touring Car Championship, Cotton 2, Sonic SAR, Deception, Invitation to Darkness, Virtua Fighter 2, and likely Tenant Wars. The other side is for submitting content to different magazine sections, including game score tables, the Cornhead Club, and other features. Both sides require personal details, like name, address, phone, age, and pen name to be filled in. A small note instructs readers to use this postcard and mark the appropriate section for their submission. This page kicks off with News Dynamite, featuring a variety of updates. We hear about the Multimedia Grand Prix 97, where a game took home the Real Sound Award. There's also a report on a public recording and CD release event for the Child and Ice's Gamdrate radio show, which featured guests and behind-the-scenes talk. A new handheld series, Pocket Breeder, is announced, focusing on raising the offspring of actual famous racehorses like Tokai Teo, aiming for realism in breeding and racing simulation. The pickup section highlights a few new releases, including the soundtrack for Tsuyoku no Kaze no Fumuki, a comprehensive Super Robot Wars illustrated book detailing hundreds of units, and the first episode of the Sakura Wars. The Radiant Gorgeous Blooming Cherry Blossoms OVA series, bringing the beloved characters to animation. Fans of Samurai Shodown could attend an open recording event for the Nechipi radio show, featuring Nakoru and Rimuru. For simulation enthusiasts, Fishing Champion is released. A virtual fishing game emphasizing realism, even supporting a dedicated fishing controller peripheral. In entertainment news, the famous actor Leonardo DiCaprio paid a visit to Tokyo Joytopolis. The competitive Puyo Puyo scene is heating up, with announcements for upcoming tournaments, including the Japan Finals, and dedicated events for Saturn, Nintendo, and PlayStation versions. Finally, there's the Dynamite Present giveaway section, offering prizes like Mahjong Gakuen drama cards, the soundtrack and phone card set for Hukago Rinai Club, and Uno DX cards, along with lists of winners from previous contests. This page focuses on a reader survey and prize giveaway, encouraging fans to share their opinions about the magazine and their gaming habits for a chance to win some fantastic Sega Saturn titles. The survey asks readers questions ranging from basic demographics like age and schooling to their preferences for magazine articles and the types of games they own and play. For the giveaway, the magazine is offering 50 readers a chance to win one of 10 different Sega Saturn software titles, 5 copies of each. The prizes include top-tier games and notable releases like the critically acclaimed RPG Panzer Dragoon Saga, the action-packed Burning Rangers, the fighting game Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, the unique shooter Twin Cobra 2 Plus, and the beloved puzzle game Twinkle Star Sprites. Other titles up for grabs are Machi, Shinpen Manmaru, the strategy game Suikoden, Tendo 108 Sei, Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, and Sound Novel Tool 2. Each game listed has a page number next to it, indicating it's featured elsewhere in this very issue. Readers need to fill out a postcard based on their survey answers, referencing lists of articles, magazines, consoles, and upcoming games provided on the page, and mail it in by the deadline. This page presents a comprehensive list of Sega Saturn software titles, available as of December 4, 1997, organized by genre. The list covers a wide variety of games, from fighting action like Virtua Fighter and Fighting Vipers, simulation games including various strategy titles, and RPGs such as Panzer Dragoon Saga and Grandia. Other genres featured are adventure, shooting, 3D shooting, sports titles covering baseball, soccer, and racing like Sega Rally, plus puzzle, mahjong, and table/board games. Notably, the right side of the page includes a section titled Readers Present, which lists the Sega Saturn software titles given away as prizes, aligning with the survey mentioned on the previous page. This section shows the specific games and the number of copies distributed, confirming the prizes offered in the reader survey. The page essentially serves as a catalog of the Saturn's library up to that point in time, showcasing the breadth of games available to fans. This page dives into the pulse of the Sega Saturn market through sales data and dedicated reader feedback. It presents rankings for actual software sales across 2 separate weeks, showing titles like J.League Pro Soccer Club and X-Men vs. Street Fighter hitting the top spots and indicating strong launch performances. Alongside this, reader-driven rankings highlight popular games and, significantly, titles fans are eager to see ported to the Saturn. A major focus is placed on the rising excitement for fighting games, largely credited to the advent of the 4 MB RAM cartridge. This hardware upgrade is seen as a game-changer, particularly noted for its impact on titles like Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, which benefits immensely from the expanded memory. The page also touches on the world of arcade ports, mentioning Spank's MVS board, and the highly anticipated fighting game The Last Blade appearing on the reader-requested port list. The desire for diverse ports, ranging from RPGs like Grandia and Sakura Wars, to unique titles like Neon Genesis Evangelion and Pocket Fighter, is evident across the various rankings, showcasing the passionate Saturn fanbase and their hopes for the console's future library. This page presents the reader-driven game rankings and reviews, following up on the sales data discussed previously. Based on user survey feedback and weighted scores, the list highlights games popular with the Saturn fanbase at the time. Leading the charts is Culdicept, a unique card-based board game hybrid, which receives praise for its strategic depth and replayability, although some find the AI and card manipulation a bit frustrating. Coming in second is Falcom Classics, a compilation featuring early RPGs from the developer Nihon Falcom like YS and Xanadu, lauded for bringing these beloved titles to Saturn, despite some wishing for more content or better ports of specific games. Layer Section 2, a sequel to the popular Shooter Layer section, Brigdarius outside Japan, takes the third spot, praised for its intense shooting action and layered environments, though some note technical issues or difficulty spikes. The Sega Ages/Columns arcade collection is also featured, part of Sega's series porting arcade hits to Saturn. Overall, the page captures the diverse tastes of Saturn owners, showcasing appreciation for both original titles and classic ports, and highlighting the pros and cons from the players' perspectives. This page prominently unveils the first public screenshots of the upcoming Sega Saturn port of the arcade masterpiece, The House of the Dead. It also continues the reader-submitted game rankings and reviews from the previous page. The main highlight is the dynamic preview of The House of the Dead, showcasing key promotional art and 2 small screenshots, confirming the highly anticipated light gun shooter is coming to Saturn. The text notes the game's strong arcade popularity and reveals this first look at the console version, promising more details about the port, which was roughly a month away from this announcement, dating it around early 1998. The page also features reader reviews for games ranked 5 through 8. Mahjong Gakuensai, rank 5, is seen favorably for its CPU opponents and strong scenario progression, especially appealing to fans of arcade mahjong and voice actors. Minton Keibu no Susa File, Dukeshi Satsujin Jiken, rank 6, is appreciated for its retro charm and atmospheric investigation, though some find certain map progressions tricky. Ronde Rinbukyoku, rank 7, receives mixed feedback. Some appreciate its character designs and story, but gameplay elements like polygon graphics issues, basic enemy AI, and slow battle transitions draw criticism. Finally, Suku no Tsubasa Gotha World, rank 8, is noted for having initial appeal but becoming complicated, with comments on the awkwardness of its unique combat system and the clash between rigid game mechanics and anime-style characters. The page also mentions a call for readers to submit reviews for future rankings. This page offers an exciting dynamic preview of the upcoming Sega Saturn port of the arcade hit, The House of the Dead. The article declares the aim is to bring the game as close to the arcade experience as possible, pushing the Saturn's limits. It addresses the potential changes to gore, noting that the blood might be green instead of red, but reassures readers that the core horror and impactful presentation are expected to remain intact. The unique route branching system, which encourages replayability and strategic thinking, and the deep, intricate scoring system are highlighted as key gameplay features that add significant depth. The article expresses strong anticipation for a faithful conversion that retains the arcade original's quality and atmosphere, especially regarding the detailed direction and boss encounters. This page delves deeper into the unique world and gameplay of The House of the Dead. It introduces the key characters central to the story: Thomas Rogan, the seasoned AMS agent; his partner, the cool and skilled Agent G; Sophie Richards, the scientist engaged to Rogan; and the antagonist, Drive, Kyrian, whose research project led to disaster. The article highlights how the game's production focuses on realism, particularly in the camera work, which syncs with the player's viewpoint to enhance immersion. It emphasizes the strategic depth provided by the branching paths throughout the stages, offering varied gameplay experiences and replayability. Finally, the diverse enemy designs are showcased, noting that the zombies and bosses aren't just simple targets but have unique movements and characteristics, making combat challenging and engaging. Bosses like Magician Type 0 are mentioned as formidable foes. This page provides an early look at Winter Heat, the intense winter sports game heading to the Sega Saturn. Building on the success of Decathlete, this title brings the thrill of winter competition home from the STV arcade. The game challenges players across 11 different winter sporting events, pushing athletes to their limits. The page introduces the diverse cast of characters who will be competing. Profiles are shown for 8 athletes, including familiar faces returning from the previous game like Rick Blade from the USA and Joe Kudu from Japan, alongside newcomers such as Johan Stenson from Norway, BB from the UK, Li Huang from China, Carl Vane from Germany, Alexei Regal from Russia, and Ellen Reggiani from France. Each character has a different sporting specialty, like speed skating, Nordic skiing, or alpine events, adding strategic depth to choosing your athlete. A key highlight for the Saturn release is the inclusion of 4-player simultaneous competitive play, a significant upgrade from the arcade version. New events like snowboard, ski aerial, and skeleton are also added to the lineup, bringing the total to 11 events. Screenshots showcase the fast-paced action in events like ski jump and speed skating, and also show the character selection screen, featuring the core roster. The article emphasizes the speed and quality maintained from the arcade original, noting that players can even create their own custom tournaments. This page dives deeper into the exciting events featured in Winter Heat, showcasing 9 of the 11 disciplines. You get a look at ski jump, where timing and angle are everything from maximizing distance. Slalom, demanding precise timing through gates. Short track speed skating, requiring a mix of button mashing and controlled timing. And the high-speed skeleton. The page also touches on ski aerial, bobsleigh, speed skating, snowboard, and cross-country, illustrating the variety of challenges. Screenshots highlight the fast-paced action and distinct gameplay mechanics for each event, from the jump ramp of ski jump to the tight turns of short track, emphasizing that mastering each event requires different skills, whether it's button timing, angle control, or maintaining rhythm. This page serves as a dynamic preview for the action-packed title, Burning Rangers. It delves into the game's premise, highlighting the elite rescue team tasked with battling massive fires in a futuristic world. The focus here is specifically on showcasing Stage 2, an intriguing underwater ocean park location. Screenshots reveal the unique environment of this stage, featuring submerged structures, marine life like dolphins, and sequences where the characters appear to be navigating underwater. The text emphasizes that this stage introduces new gameplay actions not seen in the initial levels, likely related to the aquatic setting and the inherent dangers of fighting fires below the surface. Furthermore, the page includes a report featuring the voice actors for the game's main characters. They share their experiences during the recording process, commenting on the blend of human drama and intense action, and expressing their excitement about bringing the characters to life. Basic game information, including genre and format, is also provided. Overall, the page gives a promising look at the game's varied environments and the talent behind its characters. This page focuses on Let's Make a Pro Baseball Team. Who? A simulation title from Sega. It's introduced as part of the Sega Dynamic Preview, highlighting the depth involved in managing a Japanese professional baseball team beyond just playing games. The core loop involves building your team and overcoming challenges to become the best in Japan. The article details the owner's freedom during matches. Before the game, you can choose how to observe. Just see the score updates, view a digest of the game's key moments, or enter a speak-out mode where you can give instructions to the manager. Mid-game, strategic commands can be given, influencing the flow of the game in crucial situations. Player changes are also covered, showing menus for substituting pitchers and fielders. You can also decide how to boost team morale by giving bonuses based on performance. Finally, the page showcases the game's animation style during matches, particularly in the digest view. Cute, stylized characters are shown performing various plays like throwing, hitting, and fielding, adding a charming visual element to the simulation aspects. Screenshots illustrate the different menu screens for managing players, strategies, and viewing the game progress. This page dives deep into Panzer Dragoon Saga, the highly anticipated RPG entry in the series, highlighting that the first of its 4 discs is complete. It follows the journey of Edge after separating from Gash, heading east towards a caravan in pursuit of Kramen. The article covers his arrival at the caravan, carrying a blue pendant, where he learns the Empire has moved towards the Forbidden Zone. The focus shifts to the Forbidden Zone itself, a dangerous area where mysterious ruins and creatures abound, and where Edge and his dragon confront Kramen's fleet. Screenshots showcase intense aerial combat against enemy ships and ultimately Kramen's flagship. The commander of the fleet is revealed to be Arwen. The page also reveals new gameplay systems just before the final master build. Players can visit the caravan to buy items and strengthen Edge and his dragon. The battle system includes evaluating performance and determining your next destination. A unique feature is the ability to name your dragon, fostering a stronger bond. Additionally, players can check detailed monster data on the status screen, crucial for strategic battles. The content emphasizes the game's deep world and systems, promising a rich RPG experience. This page continues the deep dive into the highly anticipated RPG Panzer Dragoon Saga, focusing on the confrontation between Edge and Agizel. The article details their intertwined destinies and the intense aerial battles as they pilot their dragons. Screenshots depict dynamic combat sequences, including a devastating laser attack called Bixioma, unleashed by Azel's dragon. The narrative shifts after the intense battle, revealing Edge's next destination, the Forest of Zoa, a place where mysterious creatures dwell, continuing his pursuit of answers, and possibly a reunion. The game's combat system is further explored, detailing the dragon's transformation abilities and how different attributes like attack, defense, spirit, and agility can be adjusted to influence its form and effectiveness in battle. Unique skills and their activation via the action gauge are also mentioned, along with the impact of the Berserk system on combat strategy. Separate from the game content, the page features a look behind the scenes of the popular Sega Saturn Shiro Sega Saturn is #1 commercial campaign. Specifically, it covers the filming of the Christmas-themed ad, showing actor Hiroshi Fujioka as Sanshiro Sagata in full Santa Claus makeup. The article also includes an interview with Sanshiro Sagata himself, discussing his passion for the role and his experiences playing Sega Saturn games. There's also an interview with Mr. Kono, the manager of Sega's CS promotion department, discussing the origins and popularity of the Sanshiro Sagata campaign. This page features a special roundtable discussion between developers from WorkJam and Data West, focusing on the challenges of creating compelling detective adventure games. The main subject is Data West's upcoming title, Cross Detective Story, and the conversation frequently references the established Jake Hunter detective story series, known as or Jinguji Saburo in Japan, developed by Data West. Developers Toru Yamaguchi and Yutaka Kaminaga from WorkJam join Eiichi Nishiyama and Hirotaka Inaba from Data West to discuss the difficulties they face, such as balancing puzzle difficulty, writing intricate scenarios, and bringing characters to life. The article highlights the ambitions behind Cross Detective Story, noting its fully animated characters, and provides background on the Jake Hunter series, including its signature hard-boiled style and features like the unique zapping system from Jake Hunter Detective Story, The End of a Dream. Character art from both games, including the protagonist of Cross Detective Story and a key female character, illustrate the discussion. The developers share their passion for the genre and their efforts to push its boundaries. This page features a special roundtable discussion focusing on the burgeoning music game genre. Developers from Spike, creators of DJ Wars, and Electronic Media Services who developed Technomotor, sit down to share their insights. The conversation dives into their passion, ideals, and the practical realities of bringing these unique rhythm games to life. They discuss the challenges of design, balancing gameplay with musical interaction, and the distinct approaches they took for each title. DJ Wars aimed for a realistic DJ simulation experience, while Technomotor focused on performance and composition, making it feel more like playing an instrument. Participants include Seiji Horikuchi and Katsuki Uchida from Spike, and Narishige Fujita and Yoshiki Taneda from Electronic Media Services. Screenshots of both games are shown, highlighting their different graphical styles and gameplay interfaces, along with photos of the developers themselves. They reflect on the state of the genre, the impressions their games have made, and the future direction of music games. It's clear both teams poured their hearts into creating something fresh in the rhythm space. This page shifts focus to a special roundtable discussion on card games, featuring 3 developers, Hideo Suzuki, Tatsuya Endo, and Masanao Okaya. The discussion covers the appeal of card games and explores the varied approaches each developer took in creating their respective titles: Cardcept, Textrud, and Arcana Strikes. They delve into what makes card games fun, the systems they designed, and offer their perspectives on the future of the genre, particularly the blend of digital and analog elements. The page showcases screenshots of the 3 games, illustrating their distinct gameplay and visual styles, alongside photos of the developers. Additionally, there is a section revealing the secret story of unexpected character birth, which ties back to the previous page's feature on music games. It specifically mentions the characters Techno-chan and Ski-chan from Technomotor, showing illustrations of 2 distinct female characters, and includes photos of the developers involved in that project. This segment provides a brief anecdote about the creative process behind these memorable characters. This page features a roundtable discussion with Hideo Suzuki, Tatsuya Endo, and Masanao Okaya on the design and future of card games, showcasing their titles Arcana Strikes, Textrud, and Cardcept. The discussion delves into what makes card games engaging, emphasizing how player imagination shapes the experience, particularly in deck building and strategizing. The developers explore the differences between playing against a computer and a human opponent, touching on AI design, balance, and the unique challenges of digital card game interfaces. They highlight the blend of digital convenience with the tactical depth of traditional card games as a key aspect of their designs and the future of the genre. The page includes screenshots illustrating gameplay from their respective titles and photos of the developers engaged in conversation, providing insight into the creative minds behind these unique card game experiences. This page features 2 upcoming or recently released Sega Saturn titles. On the left is a promotion for Legend of the Galactic Heroes, presented as a tactical simulation game. The artwork depicts key characters from the epic space opera anime, alongside impressive spaceship designs, highlighting the game's focus on strategic battles and the rich narrative of the series. It mentions it's a Sega Saturn exclusive and lists a price. On the right, we see, "Welcome to Pia Carrot! Ooh!" A romance simulation game set in a family restaurant. The vibrant artwork features several cheerful female characters in waitress uniforms, suggesting a focus on character interaction and relationship building. The text emphasizes that this is the Sega Saturn version, noting its planned March 1998 release, and highlighting features like full voice acting and original anime, and scenarios exclusive to this port. Small screenshots showcase character art and what appears to be gameplay or event scenes, giving a taste of the visual novel and simulation elements. This page is a comprehensive promotion for a new series of strategy guides titled Super Strategy Game Walkthroughs. It highlights two main approaches: a magazine-style guide for those who play many different games, and book-style guides for deeply exploring single titles. Featured prominently is a massive, super thick, 420 pages comprehensive guide, the Super Strategy Great Skill Forest, promising support for a total of 107 games released through September and October, packed with useful information. The page also showcases individual book guides from the Game Walkthrough book series, each emphasizing a key feature. The guide for Gallop Racer 2 boasts original, complete data on 1305 horses. For Breath of Fire 2 Eyes, the focus is on easy-to-read maps designed to prevent players from getting lost, offering full stage walkthroughs. The guide for Crime Crackers 2 is promoted for its helpful charts that make understanding items and enemies immediate. Lastly, the Super Robot Wars 5 guide promises complete data coverage, including detailed unit information and full scenario walkthroughs. These guides are published by Tokuma Shuten and Intermedia, promising detailed support for a wide range of popular titles. This page is the cover of Nadeshiko Volume 2, a game character charm encyclopedia hypervisual magazine, supplement from the Saturn Fan editorial team. It features a prominent illustration of a blonde anime girl and a green creature, likely characters from one of the listed games. This issue focuses on the characters from popular visual novels and dating sims available on the Saturn and PlayStation platforms. Inside, you'll find content covering fan favorites like Meltylands or Reinforce, the visual novel classic Nojo la Neige, and many others, including games from the Dukyusei and Sotsugyu series, plus titles like Aitai Kimochi o Tsumete and the critically acclaimed Kono yo no Heite Koi o Utau Shoujo Yuno, hinted at by character artwork. The magazine is priced at 690 yen, and is promoted as being on sale now, offering a deep dive into the appeal of these character-driven experiences. This page features a prominent splash page for the action shooting game Magical Night Dreams Cotton 2, showcasing the main characters Cotton and Apply alongside various enemies and bosses. The left side highlights the game as a brain-bursting action shooting title, announcing that Cotton is back, with numerous new actions. The right side teases the plot. Find the lost national treasure, Mizuiro. Details below the main image confirm it features a Saturn original mode, in addition to a perfect arcade port. Supports two-player simultaneous play with the new character Apply and her partner Needle, and boasts abundant actions with many techniques. The game was developed by Success and is listed as being on sale for 5,800 yen. The right side of the page contains a regular magazine column called Conehead Club, presented as various short articles and a manga strip under the title On Cold Days, with Your Cat at Home on the Saturn. One section, Free, includes anecdotes about finding used games like the Saturn and Windows versions of Dukyusei 2, Biohazard, Resident Evil, and others. There's also a small section offering tips on how to copy manga illustrations. This page continues the Conehead Club fan section, packed with reader contributions. Several sections showcase fan art and comments for various games. We Are Supporters features artwork for characters like Deneb from the Tactics Ogre series, along with contributions from new readers, including art possibly related to Shin Megami Tensei, Soul Hackers. The Paradigm S section adds more fan art and commentary on Tactics Ogre and Soul Hackers. A corner called Kids Hope provides a space for younger fans to share their thoughts on Saturn games, mentioning titles like the Eve series. The Dragon Force Friends Association is dedicated to fans of Dragon Force, featuring character art and discussions about the game. A prominent section hosts a debate on the used game problem, with readers offering various perspectives on the impact of secondhand sales on the industry, developers, and consumers. Finally, the Cone Kids Network board includes discussions about specific characters from the Super Robot Wars series, debating if a character named Eva is a robot. This fan-made Conehead Club page features reader submissions, showcasing fan art, and comments on various Sega Saturn and related games. Sections highlight desired sequels: Sega Rally Championship, Itadaki Street, Boom Street, Fortune Street, Guardian Heroes. Favorite games: Myst, Riglord Saga 2, Terranigma, Battle Athletes. And a substantial illustration gallery with artwork from Tactics Ogre, Princess Crown, Eve, and Sengoku Blade, among others. A Sega Am Freak section focuses on Sega arcade and console games like Last Bronx, Burning Rangers, Nights into Dreams, and Panzer Dragoon Saga. The page also announces the 9th Illustration Hall of Fame contest. This page delves into game rankings based on reader polls, introducing a new section focusing on cumulative performance alongside the regular, real-time game ranking. The introductory text highlights games like Culdcept and Falcom Classics, receiving perfect 100% positive feedback in a new system, and prominently features the popularity of Sakura Taisen, which holds the top spot in the new cumulative ranking Best 20, even a year after its release. The main ranking table, the real-time game ranking, also sees Sakura Taisen leading, followed by titles such as Super Robot Wars, F, and Eve Burst Error. A separate list details software rankings as of November 6th. The rankings provide a snapshot of reader preferences, showcasing both current hits and long-term favorites based on accumulated votes. This page serves as an early game guide for Marie's Atelier, The Alchemist of Salzburg, marking the first installment of a strategy series for the game. It focuses on helping players get started, covering the fundamentals of item creation, which is central to the game's mechanics. The guide advises players to learn recipes by consulting reference books and highlights essential equipment needed in the atelier, such as various refining and mixing devices, showing images of these tools. It also provides crucial tips on managing the character's MP and fatigue levels, which directly impact performance. A significant section is dedicated to introducing items readily available in the early stages of the game. This list details the items visually, where to find them, and their uses or effects, giving players a head start on crafting and adventuring. Screenshots throughout the page illustrate the game's interface, shops, and item creation process, making the advice easy to follow for aspiring alchemists. The content emphasizes the importance of these basic steps for successful progression in the game, even noting special half-price sales days at shops. This page delves deeper into the strategic elements of Marie's Atelier, The Alchemist of Salzburg, focusing on how events are triggered and the crucial role of character relationships. It highlights that reputation and friendship levels with other characters are key factors. Completing requests from the bar is presented as the primary way to increase reputation, though timely completion is important. Building friendship with adventurers makes them more willing to join your party and boosts their stats. The guide advises taking adventurers on expeditions regularly to strengthen bonds, but warns against accepting requests you can't fulfill, as this can damage relationships. Screenshots show character interactions, status screens displaying friendship levels, and scenes related to specific events. The page details notable events tied to characters like Chris and Kugel, Moo from the South, and Pamela. It emphasizes the importance of listening to rumors around town and at the bar, as they often provide hints or directly trigger significant occurrences, like the appearance of the phantom thief Daya and her accomplice Himalel. There's also a mention of a unique annual event called the Day of Eating, and general advice on tackling monster hunting for item collection and exploring areas safely by joining forces with others. The content underscores that managing relationships and staying informed through rumors are just as vital as alchemy for success in the game. This page features two different titles. On the left, it promotes a character fan book for the visual novel Desire, highlighting the heroines Tina, Makoto, Shirl, and Raiko. The book is presented as the long-awaited source for exclusive illustrations previously seen in magazines, and includes brand new artwork created for the upcoming Windows 95 version, aiming to satisfy fans of the game. The right side provides a continuation report on Legend of Heroes IV, a Tear of Vermilion, an orthodox RPG title for the Saturn. It notes that the game's full story is gradually becoming clear as development progresses. The article emphasizes the visual enhancements in the Saturn version, compared to the original PC release, particularly praising the detailed character movements on the field map, which add life to the game. Screenshots showcase battles and character interactions, demonstrating the improved graphics and smooth actions during gameplay, even when changing equipment. Development is stated to be entering its final phase. This article continues the legend of Heroes IV, a Tear of Vermilion story, focusing on Julio and Chris's adventures. They encounter the Shanome Kingdom, featuring a state-run casino and a benevolent old man who uses his winnings to aid a village. The game includes playable casino minigames like roulette and blackjack. Julio and Chris's journey then takes them to Gidona, where a dramatic explosion leads to their rescue mission and a confrontation with the corrupt merchant Badat. Finally, there's a trivia section about the White Witch world and the Shireen, a magical mirror used in a coming-of-age ceremony. This page features extensive coverage of the Sega Saturn adventure game, Even the Lost One. A large illustration of the red-haired protagonist dominates the left side, alongside the prominent game title. The article reveals a major plot twist. The game features another protagonist named Snake, who is shockingly also the perpetrator of the bombing incidents driving the plot. The report delves into Snake's role, questioning who his victims might be, and exploring his mysterious relationship with the other lead character, Kyuko Kirino. Several screenshots are included, depicting key scenes such as a time bomb, characters in various locations like a store and library, and surveillance footage, hinting at the game's suspenseful mystery narrative. This is presented as a follow-up report, promising more details on this complex mystery and the new characters. The page highlights the game's unique dual perspective from both the detective and the culprit, a compelling premise for a Saturn adventure title. This page delves further into the intriguing world of the EVE series, introducing key characters and hinting at expanding plot lines and relationships. It confirms the return of Marina Huju, the protagonist from the original EVE The Lost One. No longer a top investigator, she now appears as a JCIA instructor, suggesting her connection to the new story is through training or past events. Character portraits and screenshots showcase her new look. The page also introduces Ayano Sakai, a university student working at Genesis SeaWorld. A fascinating detail is her apparent ability to communicate with dolphins, specifically one named Marble, who is also highlighted with illustrations. This hints at a unique element within the game's mystery. Ayano's character art and screenshots are also featured. Additionally, the article speculates on the story's scope, suggesting it may venture outside Japan. This is supported by glimpses of potentially overseas background art and a curious screenshot of an old, foreign-looking dial phone, leading the reviewer to ponder the international setting. The inclusion of returning characters and new ones like Ayano and Marble underscores the focus on developing the human, and possibly animal, relationships central to the unfolding narrative. This page dives deep into the intricate web of characters in the Chunsoft sound novel game, Machi. It presents a massive character relationship chart, highlighting the connections between over 400 individuals who appear in Shibuya. The chart focuses on 36 key figures, illustrating how their lives intertwine across different locations and scenarios. The article then breaks down the character interactions by location, offering 5 key points. Point 1 details the Okuyama building, a hub for various activities, from a game cafe to a beauty salon and a religious group. Point 2 covers Shibuya Central, focusing on the police precinct where a detective investigates a bomb threat. Point 3 is the Dogonzaka Hobby Dabber Shop, a key location for proposals and rivalries involving the shop owner and customers. Point 4 highlights Midoriyama High School, following the lives of students and teachers. Finally, Point 5 centers on TV Taiyo, where a plot writer works on a popular anime and characters related to a fighting show are featured. Beyond these locations, the page also touches upon various other characters encountered throughout Shibuya. This detailed breakdown emphasizes the game's ambitious scope and its focus on building a rich, interconnected narrative through its massive cast. The reviewer seems impressed by the sheer number of characters and the complexity of their relationships. This page reports on the strategic board game Tenant Wars. It plays like a Monopoly-style game, where players compete to build stores and amass wealth. A key feature is the inclusion of numerous real-life store names that appear in the game. The core gameplay involves rolling dice to move, acquiring properties to build stores, and forcing opponents who land on your spaces to make purchases, earning you income. Players can also expand their stores by merging adjacent properties, and strategically use points earned to trigger events or even buy out rival businesses. Expanding stores allows them to stock higher-priced goods, putting pressure on opponents. The report breaks down the game flow into early, mid, and late stages. In the early game, the focus is on reaching the bank for income and starting to buy properties. The mid-game sees smaller stores dominate, with the strategy shifting towards merging stores and using points to gain an advantage. The late game becomes a tense struggle as asset differences grow, high-value items become crucial, and strategic use of points or events can lead to dramatic shifts in fortune. The game also features an elevator mechanic that can randomly move players, adding another layer of unpredictability. The game's mascot, Nyankichi, is also highlighted, appearing in the game and even visiting the magazine's editorial department. The report suggests that the fierce competition over money makes for an exciting and unpredictable battle until the very end. This page delves into the unique Love Sugoroku adventure system of Dragon Master Silk Gaiden Gokuraku. It's described as a comical fantasy RPG where players move a partner character around a board, aiming to strengthen their bond and ultimately defeat the Demon Lord. The core gameplay blends board game movement with battles determined by dice rolls. The key system is the bond, Kizuna, with your partner, which is crucial for strengthening her and advancing. Leveling up is directly tied to increasing this bond. Dice battles determine combat outcomes, with the number of dice influenced by partner level and special cards. Strengthening the bond involves special date spots, where interaction is key. The bond level is shown to affect character graphics and expressions on the map. The game features multiple stages, each with different layouts and bosses, requiring strategic movement across the board. Winning battles can yield benefits like magic cards, while losing affects the partner's mood. The page also showcases a detailed expression sheet for the character Shirafuji Mizuki. This page introduces Solo Crisis, a simulation RPG for the Sega Saturn by Quintet, where the player takes on the role of a god guiding their followers, known as shimobe, to repel a demon invasion and cultivate the land. The game spans two worlds, the surface world, which you nurture, and the underworld controlled by demons. Gameplay involves leading your shimobe to fight monsters, build settlements, and develop the land. A key system is the use of miracles, special divine powers you can trigger to gain an advantage in battle or affect the environment, such as causing earthquakes or floods. Building houses increases the population and faith of your followers, which in turn fuels your ability to perform these powerful miracles. Shimobe come in different classes, like leaders, warriors, mages, and workers, each with distinct roles in combat or construction. The ultimate goal is to protect the people on the surface and eventually venture into the underworld to defeat the Demon Lord. The page features various screenshots showcasing the isometric view of the battlefield, construction, and the impactful effects of the miracles. This page features a festive announcement for Swink's classic fighting game, Real Bout Special, coming to the Sega Saturn. The page highlights a special Christmas release featuring a character dressed as Santa Claus and the iconic Mei Shiranui, emphasizing the game is on sale for the holidays. It confirms the Saturn version includes the necessary expansion RAM cartridge for optimal performance, making it a powerful fighting game entry for the console. The right side shifts focus to the popular dating simulation series, Sentimental Graffiti. It announces a change in the game's publisher and extensively promotes the character CD collection, highlighting that individual albums are available for each of the game's numerous heroines. It also mentions a single release and provides details on the main game's upcoming launch in January '98, including a limited edition version. Additionally, the page features a section dedicated to the Sentimental Night radio show, listing the main personality and various groups of guests who feature on the program. Overall, the page covers a mix of fighting game action and dating sim media promotion. This page prominently features the soundtrack for the cinematic RPG Grandia, highlighting its release on December 22, 1997. The two-disc original soundtrack is composed by Noriyuki Iwadare, promising to recreate the game's moving sound. The right side is dedicated to a Prize Explorer section, showcasing upcoming arcade prizes for January 1998. This feature covers prizes from several popular franchises, including a Sakura Wars CD collection and Mobile Suit Gundam light-up key holders. Following up on the previous page, it also features prizes related to Sentimental Graffiti, such as a second volume of their CD collection and figure key holders. There's a mention that prizes might get larger in 1998, showing a prototype Sonic the Hedgehog figure. The section also briefly touches on Aroma Club pot prizes and announces the winners for a recent prize giveaway for various featured items. This page dives into two distinct topics. On the left, it features a detailed look at Tokimeki Memorial Drama Series Volume 2. Niji no Love Song, a youth drama adventure game set during high school about a band contest. It answers fan questions, confirming the heroine Irodori Katagiri, and introducing new band members, Takumi on bass and Koji on drums. Familiar characters from the original Tokimeki Memorial like Shiori Fujisaki, Saki Nijino, and Akane Tsumori are also confirmed to appear, with new mini-stories planned for each. Screenshots show Irodori, the new band members, and Akane Tsumori. The right side presents the third installment of Saturn Dreams, featuring the developers responsible for porting Raystorm to PlayStation and Layer Section 2 to Saturn. They discuss the complexities and challenges faced when bringing the arcade experience to the Saturn, particularly focusing on adapting the graphics. This includes hurdles with polygon counts, achieving transparency effects, and handling textures differently compared to the original versions or other console ports. They also touch upon performance considerations like drawing speed and CPU processing, and briefly mention differences in sound quality. A screenshot from what appears to be Layer Section is shown. This page features two different fan-focused segments. On the left is the Weekly Elf Fan Corner, Volume 1, dedicated to the game developer Elf. It reveals a secret story behind the production of a commercial, complete with dialogue snippets, and provides a character profile for Yuno, describing her appearance and personality. There's also a section for fan submissions and news about related merchandise, like a Yuno novel and a CD. The right side wraps up the Idle the Hop Step series, focusing on the idle training simulation game of the same name. This final installment offers two major scoops: details on how to train Tomoya, the leader of the rival group V-Kids, including lesson, job, and date information, and insights into initiating romantic relationships with the idols early in the game, listing some key character stats like zodiac sign and blood type. An interview with Tomoya's voice actor is also featured. Finally, the page announces the debut CID for the in-game idol unit Step S, showing the album art and release details. Basic information about the game, such as genre, publisher, and price, is included. This page dives into the world of Ninpu Sentai Manmaru, a polygonal action game based on the popular manga and anime. You step into the role of Manmaru, a slightly unreliable but determined character, embarking on a journey of training. The game features polygon environments where you can run, jump, and perform various actions in 360 degrees. The core gameplay revolves around exploring these stages and using Manmaru's abilities, like throwing objects or executing a spinning jump, to defeat enemies. The stages themselves are designed with a focus on verticality and tricky elements, making use of the 3D space. The ultimate goal is to clear all 6 stages to obtain the golden origami. As you progress, you'll face familiar characters from the series at the end of each area, such as Tsunejiro and Tatsutaro, in boss battle challenges that test your skills. The page also highlights special items found in the field that can either help Manmaru with temporary power-ups like increased speed, or hinder him with power-downs, like preventing jumps. Finding the goal within a time limit is key, with faster clears earning better ratings and extra lives. Overall, the page serves as a solid introduction to the game's charming presentation and action-packed gameplay. This page showcases two very different Sega Saturn titles. On the left we have Crows, the battle action for Sega Saturn, a chaotic fighting game based on the popular manga. It features the series characters in a slightly comical, super deformed style, bringing their street brawls to life. The gameplay emphasizes action with punches, kicks, throws, and the ability to chain together combinations, even letting you build your own custom combos. You can fight alongside a friend in 2-player mode and interact with the environment by picking up items. The page highlights mechanics like the knockdown recovery system and the strategic use of guarding and evasion. On the right, the focus shifts to the greens, with Gene Sarazen Jun Classic Golf Tournament and Rope Club. This is a realistic golf simulation featuring actual Japanese courses, Jun Classic Country Club, and Rope Club. The game aims to faithfully recreate the experience with beautiful scenery and strategic depth. It offers a variety of modes, including tournament, stroke play, skins, match play, training, and a course introduction mode. You can earn special clubs by performing well, such as drivers that give extra distance or irons useful in the rough. The game provides detailed course information and various camera options to help you strategize your shots. Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, the sixth installment in the Fatal Fury series, expands upon the classic fighting gameplay. Featuring a 20-character roster, including the playable Geese Howard from the start, the game retains the two-line battle system, but with enhanced ring-out mechanics, corner battles, and a gauge-based power-up system granting break shots, down evasion, and super special moves. New additions like break shot counterattacks and down evasion recovery mechanisms, along with flexible combination attacks, are detailed, and a new original mode with chance fights and a 4-player event round out the experience. This page focuses on Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, highlighting some of the characters. It features large character portraits and screenshots of gameplay, introducing 4 new fighters and the returning boss, Geese Howard, from the roster of 20 characters. The characters showcased are Tung Fu Rue, Geese Howard, Lawrence Blood, Wolfgang Krauser, and Cheng Xinzan. The text provides a brief overview of each character's fighting style and special moves. For instance, Tung Fu Rue's surprising speed despite his size is mentioned, while Geese's return as a powerful force is noted. Lawrence Blood's long reach and projectile attacks are highlighted. Wolfgang Krauser is presented as a returning boss with formidable techniques, and Cheng Xinzan's unique style and explosive moves are discussed. The screenshots demonstrate their in-game appearance and some of their signature attacks. The overall presentation serves as an introduction to these key fighters in the game. This page covers the strategy simulation game, based on the classic Chinese novel, Water Margin, titled Crease. It's described as a simulation game, where players aim to save the Song dynasty from corrupt officials and high ministers by leading the heroes of the Water Margin. The game is a port from the PC version, with enhancements and added events. The game features a large cast of around 360 characters from the novel, each with unique abilities and personalities. Gameplay revolves around managing fortresses, which includes both real-time internal affairs to develop resources and turn-based battles for expansion or defense. Players can build facilities, manage labor, and engage in combat using different attack types like melee, ranged, and even sorcery. Character stats, skills, and even relationships, like friendship and marriage, play a significant role. The game includes various scenarios based on the original story, and features random events that can occur, such as encountering wild animals or having subordinates visit. Overall, it appears to be a detailed strategy game, deeply rooted in the historical and fictional world of the Water Margin heroes. This page features 2 very different titles. On the left is Great Edo Renaissance, a simulation game set in Japan's Edo period. Players take on the role of Tanuma Okitsugu, tasked with developing the town of Edo and rebuilding the shogunate over a 20-year period. You'll manage finances, handle random events like fires, and interact with various officials and historical figures like Hiraga Genai. It looks like a detailed historical town building and management sim. On the right, we delve into the world of Soul Hackers, with Devil Encyclopedia Volume 2, a companion disc packed with extra content. This includes a comprehensive database to view demons from the main game, with detailed graphics and data, a sound room to enjoy the game's BGM, and a novel mode offering side stories set a year prior to the events of Soul Hackers, introducing new characters and lore. There's also a campaign offering an exclusive extra dungeon Creedrom as a bonus for fans. It's a fantastic way for players to explore the demons, music, and background story of Soul Hackers. This page shifts focus to creative software with sound novel Tsukuru 2. This title is a powerful tool designed to let players create their very own sound novels by combining graphics, sound, and text. It comes bundled with 4 sample sound novels, such as Underground Memory and Flower of Memories, demonstrating the software's capabilities. The package features dedicated editors for writing text, assembling scenes with graphics and items using a card system, defining item parameters for game logic and branching paths, and adding various visual effects. It includes a substantial library of assets to build stories, and appears to be a comprehensive creation kit for budding game developers interested in the visual novel genre. This page introduces Dragon's Dream, heralded as the first network RPG on a home console, focusing on adventures with other players online, although solo play is also possible. The core gameplay loop starts with character creation, where you select from 8 distinct races and 5 different classes, each with unique abilities and characteristics detailed here. After creating your avatar, you can gather information in places like the library, before heading out to meet other players. Taverns serve as social hubs, where players can chat and form parties for exploration. Adventures primarily take place in dungeons, where you battle monsters, gain experience to level up your character's stats and skills at the guild, and collect money to upgrade your equipment at shops. Staying connected with friends is facilitated through an in-game mail system, allowing players to arrange future expeditions. Beyond the main questlines, features like a coliseum for player versus player combat are mentioned, suggesting an expansive online world with various activities. The emphasis is clearly on the cooperative and social elements of online RPGs. This page previews two distinct Sega Saturn titles. First is Tilk, a simulation RPG charting the adventures of a group of children. This port promises a real adventure experience filled with dream and danger on Tilk Island, featuring strategic battles influenced by character skills and environmental interactions, alongside impactful event scenes brought to life with full voice acting. The game emphasizes character compatibility and offers multiple story endings influenced by player decisions. 6 key child characters are introduced as the core of the adventure. The second title highlighted is Michinoku Hito Koi Monogatari Special, a romance adventure set against the backdrop of hot springs in the Tohoku region of Japan. Players take on the role of a cameraman on a 5-day trip, with the goal of winning a photo contest. Along the journey, the protagonist encounters 4 distinct beautiful women, whose relationships and romantic paths develop based on player interaction and choices during the trip. Gameplay involves navigating locations on a map and participating in photography, leading to various event scenes including those set in hot springs. This page features 2 distinct games for the Sega Saturn. On the left, we have Universal Nuts, an SF mystery adventure game that boasts a multi-ending system based on player choices throughout its 10 chapters. The story centers on a group of friends whose vacation turns into a mystery when their interstellar ferry gets lost and passengers start disappearing. The game features full voice acting for its characters and includes a unique holder system to help players understand the specific SF terminology used in the narrative. Screenshots show event scenes with anime-style character art and some Yusei elements. On the right is Gokuju Tiger 2 Plus, a powerful vertical scrolling shooter that's a port of the arcade hit, known internationally as Twin Cobra 2. This version includes both a faithful arcade mode and an arrange mode that adds new stages, story elements presented through movie scenes, and variations in enemy placement and patterns. The game supports 2 players and features multiple weapon types and powerful bomb attacks to take down the hordes of enemies. Screenshots display the intense shooting action and the various weapon effects. This page showcases 2 different gaming topics. On the left, we have Twinkle Star Sprites for the Sega Saturn, a competitive shooting game ported from the arcade and Neo Geo. This Saturn version adds new features like voice acting, original characters, and an animated opening sequence. The core gameplay involves defeating enemies to send them over to your opponent's screen, utilizing charge shots, bombs, and building chains for powerful attacks like Extra Attack and Fever Mode. There's also a mention of bonus content like setting materials included on a separate disc and a phone card giveaway. On the right, the page features an announcement for a Game Boy magazine, specifically promoting a new issue. It highlights key contents, including a comprehensive feature on Pokemon Red, Green, and Blue, a report on Nintendo Space World 97, and information on Dragon Quest Monsters, Terry's Wonderland. The magazine promises strategy articles and is priced at 390 yen. This page presents software reviews for games released December 18, 2015, each including playtime and scoring rationale. Reviewers highlight Grandia's engaging story and visuals, 9.0 average, but find Real Bout Fatal Fury Specials content lacking despite technical strengths, 6.3 average. Ninja Pingu's simple gameplay and limited depth earned a low score, 4.0 average. Shining Force 2i Scenario 1, a welcome return to the series, received praise for its nostalgic elements and enjoyable gameplay, 8.0 average. The page concludes with details on the updated review criteria. This page features reviews for 6 more Sega Saturn titles released in late December, covering a variety of genres from horror and adventure to strategy and simulation. The first review is for RMJ The Mystery Hospital, a horror-adventure game. Reviewers found the story engaging but the gameplay pacing slow, noting that the fear often relied on specific situational triggers rather than atmosphere. It scored an average of 6.0. Universal Nuts, a sci-fi adventure, was praised for its solid puzzle elements and presentation, but criticized for a drawn-out story that included unnecessary detours, resulting in an average score of 6.3. Next up is Koei's Suikoden strategy game. This adaptation of the classic tale was highly lauded, with reviewers finding the strategic depth and city-building aspects particularly satisfying. Its strong presentation and gameplay earned it the highest average score on the page at 8.3. Oedo Renaissance, a historical simulation focused on town development and politics, was considered relaxing and enjoyable in its core loop, but lacked excitement and graphical detail according to reviewers, scoring a 5.6 average. Wizard's Harmony 2, a simulation/RPG, was seen as a pleasant follow-up, with improved controls and compelling character interactions, although some felt the overall pace could be slow. It received an average score of 6.3. Finally, Text Rude Arcana Senki, a board game/card game RPG, was described as a challenging game with deep rules that were rewarding to master, despite some frustration with difficulty spikes and repetitive elements, averaging a score of 5.6. This page reviews 6 Sega Saturn games. Crows. The battle action, while based on a popular manga, received a low score, 4.6, for repetitive gameplay. Hansha de Spark, 5.3. Had a clever core concept but weak level design. Tilka Girl from the Blue Sea, 5.3. Impressed with its atmosphere, but was criticized for its slow pace. Twinkle Star Sprites, 7.6. Was a standout, praised for its unique gameplay and charm. Kyukyoku, Tiger 2 Plus, 5.3. Provided a solid arcade experience, but lacked excitement in some modes. Jurassic Circa C and Robert Club, 6.3, was a well-executed, accessible golf simulator. This page covers impressions of various Sega Saturn software, ranging from game creation tools and multimedia databases to highly anticipated RPGs. Featured are sound novel Tsukuru 2, a tool allowing users to create their own sound novels, Ultraman Zukan 2, an encyclopedia detailing characters and information from the Ultraman series, Pradle Disc Volume 11, an idle photo book featuring Mayumi Hirose, and Devil Summoner Soul Hackers, Akuma Zensho Volume 2, a database focused on the demons from the Soul Hackers game. The core of the page is a roundtable discussion among reviewers, offering their initial thoughts on several games. They dive into Grandia, noting the experience starts slow but quickly builds, with a compelling story and a deep, engaging battle system that makes even long fights enjoyable. They highlight the importance of character growth and strategic positioning on the battlefield. Shining Force 2 is also discussed, with reviewers praising its strategic gameplay and the satisfying feeling of moving units and executing attacks, as seen in a screenshot of the battle map. They appreciate the tactical depth the game offers. The page provides a good look at a mix of software available, emphasizing the positive reception for the major RPG titles. This page features the 6th installment of a strategy guide for Virtua Fighter 3 TB, moving beyond character basics to cover advanced techniques and player insights. The section titled Famous Player Techniques and Interesting Small Tips dives into concepts used by top players. One notable technique discussed is the Aniaki guard, attributed to a famous Akira user. This involves precise guarding during mid-level attacks, described as a technique difficult for mere mortals to replicate due to its timing. The page also examines the tactic of suicide via ring out, where a player intentionally rings themselves out. While often seen as a mistake, it can strategically concede a round to gain an advantage in subsequent rounds, particularly regarding stamina or setting up the final round. Character-specific strategies are provided for Shun Dai and Lion Rafa. For Shun, the focus is on mastering basic tactics beyond his drinking stance, highlighting the effectiveness of specific counter-hitting moves and ground attacks. Tips are given on using moves like the inclining stab leg and horizontal kick/seated iron for specific situations. Lion's strategy emphasizes unpredictable, flow-based combat rather than stable fights. Key tactics involve using his downward control hammer move and employing rich throwing techniques. His axe blade leg is noted for a mysterious movement used for evasive backsteps. The guide stresses reading the opponent and using movement effectively for both characters. This page announces the upcoming Virtualon National Tournament, titled Let's Decide Who the Ace Is. Preliminaries begin on December 20th, followed by area tournaments in February, culminating in the final tournament in Tokyo on March 29th. The article includes screenshots and an image of the popular Temjin Virtualoid, noting that while Temujin was strong in the previous game, skilled pilots are key to victory. There's also speculation that the latest version of Oratorio Tangram might be playable at the event. The page also features the concluding part of a series focusing on Top Skater, specifically the character PNUT, Pauline Sambora. It discusses her design and appeal, lamenting the end of this feature but celebrating the enduring charm of the game. A profile for Pauline Sambora is included. Other sections showcase illustrations under Illustrator's Soul and provide the answer to a previous quiz, confirming the correct answer was Tommy ga inai. Tommy is not here. This page showcases Sega's latest arcade gun shooting game, Behind Enemy Lines. The game throws you into a world of crime and chows, tasking you with destroying a terrorist group. Utilizing the powerful Model 2 hardware, it offers intense, high-speed shooting action with two-player co-op gameplay, where you ride and shoot from a jeep. Developed by Lockheed Martin, known for their real-world military simulators, the game aims for a high degree of realism and exhilarating combat. You have unlimited machine gun ammo and limited missiles, needing to manage your targeting to survive the onslaught. The page features several screenshots highlighting the diverse environments and explosive action. Beyond the main feature, there's a section inviting readers to participate in a contest to create a school song for rival schools, United by Fate, with prizes offered for the best entries. Another recurring column about the game Sky Target discusses fan feedback and suggestions, including ideas for a potential original mode and new boss encounters, showing engagement with the player base. This page reveals a treasure trove of secrets for Sega Saturn fans, primarily focusing on unlocking hidden content in Zero Divide: The Final Conflict. It details how to gain access to 3 extra characters, Neko, Zulu, and XTAL, through specific game progression and playtime. Additionally, players can discover hidden stages like White, Black, and Pizza by using special controller inputs after unlocking Neko. The page also unveils methods to access amusing minigames such as Mini Phalanx and Neko Whack-A-Mole 97, as well as a unique Neko-themed manga, all found within the game's menus after meeting certain conditions. Beyond Zero Divide, the page offers valuable tips and unlockable content for several other titles. This includes passwords for stage select and illustration galleries in Lost World, Jurassic Park, a method to earn money in Ronde, unlocking a bonus game in Steve Slop Sliders, accessing hidden minigames in Sakura Wars through its radio show feature, viewing a plasma anime test in Digital Pinball, Last Gladiators, watching TV series movies in Kamen Rider Operation File 1, and checking a list of 1 major races and winning Post 2 Final 97. This compilation of secrets encourages players to delve deeper into their game libraries, much like the fan feedback featured on the previous page, highlighting the community's passion for discovering every last detail. The page concludes with a call for readers to submit their own game tips and discoveries for publication. This page previews upcoming titles, focusing on dating simulations with unique gameplay twists. First up is Angelique Duet, an updated version of the Super Famicom classic by the Ruby Party team. This release enhances the original with a beefed-up system, including new events and features. A significant addition is the ability to play as the rival character, Rosalia, offering a fresh perspective on the goal of becoming queen and pursuing romantic relationships with the Guardian characters. The graphics have received a complete overhaul, featuring redrawn art, voice acting, and animations, making it a visually impressive upgrade. Next, we look at Tour Party. Let's go on a graduation trip, a board game-style dating simulation. Players navigate a board, using dice and cards to raise character parameters like stamina, intelligence, and sense. Successfully increasing parameters is key to triggering events and progressing romantic relationships with other characters. The game emphasizes strategic interaction on the board, managing parameters carefully, and making correct choices in events to gain an advantage over rivals. It also includes minigames and various events that influence your character's fate, sometimes dramatically. This page previews 3 diverse upcoming titles. First up is Monica no Shiro, an action RPG where you explore a dangerous castle filled with monsters and traps. You play as one of 3 characters, each with unique abilities that affect the story and goals. A key feature is the ability to transform into animals, granting special powers needed to overcome obstacles. The game emphasizes dynamic combat, item collection, and navigating treacherous dungeons with various traps like pitfalls and explosives. Character designs are notably done by a popular manga artist. Next is Winning Post 3, the latest in the horse racing simulation series. It builds upon previous titles, with a deeper focus on horse breeding and the importance of bloodlines, aiming for realistic race outcomes. The game includes various major races, including detailed local races, adding to the breadth of competition. Screenshots show realistic racing scenes and menus for managing horses and races. Finally, we look at Kunoichi Hoyotachi, an adventure and racing simulation game. Players raise a female ninja, Kunoichi, with the narrative unfolding through choices and events that affect various character parameters. These parameters directly influence the game's multiple endings. The game also incorporates several minigames, including shooting challenges, shape cutting, and gambling, which serve as interactive elements to affect the character's growth and progression. This page previews several upcoming Sega Saturn titles, covering a range of genres from fighting to simulation and racing. First up is Soku Sei Tokai, a fighting game based on a popular manga. It promises fast-paced action with an original story, and features mechanics like the Yaruki gauge for powerful special moves and aerial combos. The screenshots show intense battles with vibrant effects. Next, Seifuku High School Countdown is a dating simulation where you aim to find a girlfriend before graduating high school. It introduces several potential love interests, each with distinct personalities, and challenges you to build relationships over a year. The images showcase the character designs of some of the girls you'll encounter. For fans of giant monsters and heroes, Ultraman Zukan 2 offers a comprehensive database of Ultraman characters and monsters, including information from various series, episode digests, and even movie clips. It's presented as a must-have collection for enthusiasts. Initial D. Kudo, the fastest legend, brings the popular racing manga to life with thrilling street races. The game captures the manga's atmosphere, features rival characters, and utilizes real car sound samples for an immersive experience. Screenshots show exciting downhill races and the replay function. Finally, a Giri Giri news section highlights upcoming releases, including a limited edition dating sim with bonus cards and a bundle featuring the Virtua Cop games. This page presents a highly anticipated status report on upcoming Sega Saturn titles as the year draws to a close. It covers a diverse range of games, giving players a glimpse into their development progress. Featured titles include the highly anticipated sequel, Shining Force 2i Scenario 2, offering new insights into its connected storyline. Role-playing fans can also look forward to Dragon Force 2, which was a top request in surveys, and the fantasy adventure Legend of Heroes 2-1, White Witch. The report also details the progress of fighting games like Street Fighter Collection and strategy titans such as Mobile Suit Gundam, Giran's Greed, and Super Robot Wars Final, with the latter two reporting significant development progress, including balancing and event implementation. Adventure and simulation games are well represented, with updates on the mysterious Eve, the Lost One, the popular Sentimental Graffiti, reported at 100% completion, and the dating sim Graduation 2-1, Wedding Bell. There's also news on the Dungeons & Dragons collection, confirming essential RAM cartridge support. The page conveys a sense of excitement and urgency from the developers, eager to get these titles into players' hands before the new year. This page presents a comprehensive production and sale calendar for upcoming Sega Saturn titles, providing a clear roadmap for releases spanning from December 1997 well into 1998. A small section explains how to read the calendar, noting that entries in red are newly added, and those in blue have had their titles changed. The calendar itself lists games by their anticipated release dates, offering a dense look at the console's future lineup across various genres. You'll find highly anticipated role-playing games like Grandia and Princess Crown slated for December, alongside other diverse titles. January 1998 brings the highly requested Panzer Dragoon Saga, continuing the saga with a new RPG format. As the calendar progresses through 1998, it lists major fighting games such as Virtua Fighter 3, TB, and Vampire Savior, Darkstalkers 3, as well as arcade conversions like the House of the Dead. Popular series like Sakura Wars also feature with their sequels listed. The list includes many other games, covering strategy, adventure, sports, and more, indicating a strong lineup planned for the year ahead, with many titles still having their release dates marked as undecided. This page dives deep into the highly anticipated Sega Saturn RPG, Grandia. The main feature showcases vibrant character art of Justin, Sue, and Fina alongside the game's logo, announcing its December 18th release as a fateful event. The text evokes a sense of grand adventure, describing the young protagonists who set out to explore the ends of the world in an age where adventure itself seemed forgotten. Below the main image, the page highlights key features of Grandia's gameplay, emphasizing its immersive nature with multi-layered 3D dungeons, dynamic 3D traps, and hundreds of varied actions and character expressions. It points out the seamless character control and a unique simulation battle system, where cooperation and even getting in each other's way create exciting, fast-paced combat. The page confirms the game is a 2-disc set for the Sega Saturn. On the left, the magazine looks ahead, announcing that the next issue, number 1, releasing December 26th, will feature in-depth coverage, including guides for Grandia, Uno, and Shining Force 2i, along with full features on Machi, Sentimental Graffiti, and the Western title Panzer Dragoon Saga. There's also a game index for the current issue and a section detailing editorial thoughts on the past year's Saturn highlights, noting the success of Sakurazaka and the high anticipation for Grandia. This page features an advertisement for the strategic simulation game Mobile Suit Gundam, Girin's Ambition, for the Sega Saturn. The striking image showcases the iconic emblem of the Principality of Zeon, overlaid on a dramatic landscape under a stormy sky. The title, Mobile Suit Gundam, Girin's Ambition, is prominently displayed with the tagline indicating it covers all of the one-year war. The content on the right side presents a powerful monologue, seemingly from Girin Zabi himself, addressing his loyal Zeon forces. It speaks of the destruction of the Earth Federation fleet by the solar ray, proclaiming this as proof of Zeon's justice. The speech exudes confidence in Zeon's strength and dismisses the remaining Federation forces, asserting that humanity's future rests with the superior race of Zeon. The bottom of the page confirms the game is a strategic simulation scheduled for release in March, with an estimated price of 6,800 yen. This preview clearly sets a serious war-torn tone, aligning with the game's theme of controlling the Principality of Zeon during the pivotal conflict of the original Mobile Suit Gundam series.